Hi Year 5, I hope you had a lovely half term last week and managed to enjoy a little bit of the sunshine. Welcome back to your home learning for the next 2 weeks. This video is a quick recap of percentages and hopefully will help you with one of your worksheets this week. Okay, so we'll start off by reminding ourselves that percentage just means parts per 100 or how many out of 100. So when we have the denominator as 100, we know what percentage we have. So I have got a 100 square here, and you can see in my 100 square I've got 10 of the squares coloured in. So that means I've got 10 out of 100 of my squares coloured in. So 10 out of 100 means that 10 parts of my 100 square are coloured in, which means that I have 10% of the square coloured in. Now if I want to write that as a decimal, I can think about, well, what is 10 hundredths? I know that I can simplify that fraction down by dividing the numerator and the denominator by 10, which would leave me with 1/10. And I can write that down as a decimal, because I know that my tenths column, if I have 1/10, that will just be 1/10 in the tenths column. So 0.1 is the same as 1/10, which is the same as 10 out of 100, which is 10%. In my next 100 square, I've got a few more coloured in. I've got 48 out of 100 coloured in. So 48 out of 100 of the squares are coloured in. So if I write that down as a percentage, if your denominator is 100, you know that your percentage is your numerator. So 48% of the square is coloured in. And again, if I want to write that as a decimal, I need to think about what 48 hundredths is. This time I can't simplify it quite as easily. I can obviously divide them both by 2 or by 4, but I can think about what 48 hundredths would be. That would give me 0.48. And just to remind ourselves why it's definitely 0.48 is that if we think about what 48 out of 100 is, we know that is 40 hundredths add 8 hundredths, and that would be the same as 48 hundredths. Our 40 hundredths we can simplify down to 4 tenths and keep my 8 hundredths. So I've got 4 in my tenths column and 8 in my hundredths column. So that's why we know that 48% is definitely 0.48. Okay, so next we've got a question which asks which one is greater, 13% or 31 out of 100. So to decide which one is the biggest, I need to think about what 13% would be as a fraction or what 31 hundredths would be as a percentage. So remember, percentage means parts per 100. So if I have 13%, that means that I have 13 out of 100. So 13% as a fraction would be 13 out of 100. Obviously 31 out of 100 is more than 13 out of 100, so 31 hundredths is greater than. Obviously you could have looked at this and changed it to a percentage. If we know that our denominator is 100, we know our percentage is the numerator, so 31 out of 100 is the same as 31%. So this one is bigger. 31% is greater than 13%, or 13% is less than 31%. So this one is slightly different. This one says which one is greater, 50 out of 80 or 50%. This one is different because my denominator on my fraction here is not 100, so it's not as simple as just thinking about this as a percentage. So 50% I recognise straight away because I know that's 50 parts out of 100, which is the same as 50 hundredths, which is the same as 1/2. So I need to think about if 50 80ths is bigger or less than 1/2. So I can try and simplify my 50 80ths down because I can see they're both multiples of 10. So I can divide the top and the bottom by 10, which is equal to 5/8. I know that 4/8 would be the same as 50% because 4/8 is a half. So 5/8 is going to be bigger than 50%. So 50 out of